You know, development of renewable energy, generating company and meet SC/ST entrepreneur. So because we are very HPC's head office is in a small entrepreneur of the construction.
To go to Mishra sir from the FCC. Again, a huge opportunity. When they're talking about startups is what we would like to hear from you, sir.
Public sector under Ministry of Railways and develop new vendors in their process. Any new vendor, generic guideline from the Government of India, applicable all across. From a startup, that's kind of dichotomy. We should be sensible towards that, and Government of India's guidelines or any kind of security which a bidder is required to submit when he is submitting. So that's and if following the procedure, if their prices are the new thinking, all those things are missing. Why? Which they should play entities. Like we all are sitting who are from the services of the with those ideas. But you will, as a difference, say if you want to work in ministry idea. Like for example, I'm
30
kg weight on his
manually
shoulders.
they are doing.
So again, if you have certain idea which you can work in so hydropower,
you have some idea, please message us or reach out to my team with you, but also where you are advising.
AGC India Limited. It's in open 6 telling you certain areas of very conventional methods. Now you can come up with exploration of the a big lot. So in that case, I share with you that concreting. So earlier it was almost a saga that we used to can if the project is inside at the railhead only, and you can make the precast components that can be transferred.
I think we've been working for last 7 years to achieve women-owned businesses target of 3%, and it has been opportunity like sir has been speaking about, everyone is talking about. very quick for people to get. That we recently with Manojji helped a woman to oil recently just because of the guidance of Manojji. With this, I would like to hand over.
इनोवेशन तभी दे पाएंगे जब आप उस इंडस्ट्री की इंफॉर्मेशन रखते हो. इंडियन ऑयल 1950 जैसे तो एक अभी डायरेक्टली ये मिला और हमने काफी टेंडर निकाले जिसमें कि अपने टेंडर्स की जरूरत नहीं है, ना ही उसको कोई टर्नओवर की जरूरत है, ना ही कोई एक्सपीरियंस की जरूरत है. इस पोस्टिंग के पहले मथुरा की पोस्टिंग नहीं थी और उसी में बाकी लोगों से उन्होंने compete करके साइड से या जेम साइड से डायरेक्टली टेंडर.
Register for MSME, NSIC register.
SME for startups. Particular part of the runner and organization is mandated to spend hours is so use those funds to approach your business area like this. We want to
Thank you everyone for being a
all our speakers. Please give a big Executive Director, Dedicated Freight Corridor, Mr. Anirudh, CGM, TH. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us here at the Startup Mahakumbh.
From innovative funding. Entrepreneurial ecosystem.
Absolutely. Moderate.
IVCA, NABARD.
We will thank each one of for sharing their financial.
Mr. Rajat Tandon. Panels, but number of panelists, but it's going to be the most exciting. Dominate our headlines today, as you know. Continues to remain. Revenue-based financing, blended finance, and corporate partnerships are emerging. And today we have rural fintech and other Bharat-focused startups
Distress. Agriculture has been left out of it. Bharat dream. Then one of the various institutions, including the agricultural universities in various parts of the country, they are providing the entire ecosystem there, and it is not available with them. Then funding is also available. A fund of Agri-Shore Fund, where also direct capital available in the country in the form of producer organization. So, we know in rural areas one of the important thing is moving through these organizations is something which is very, very important.
That's great, sir. Thank you. Advises on inclusive business. unit economics that attract both impact investors.
May I suggest that chasing market, demand and pricing. हिंदी में एक saying है, आप जिस चीज के पीछे भागोगे, they are going to chase you if your business models are great. Key issues in addressing the. I'm talking about a piggyback on a microfinance institution, and the model was successful that it was scaled to. You cannot design products and services for Bharat the way. Think about how you can sachetize your products and services when you are rural Bharat. So I mean, apologies for changing your question.
No, thanks, because that here, Kishore Jha, who's the CEO of Argos, a pioneering agri-tech platform. Kishore has been and digital credit solutions, a perfect example of fintech bridging Bharat's financing gap. Help, or how are you helping farmers?
Hello. Yeah. Always maintain distance from this Bharat customer, but farmer need to buy input tomorrow morning for to do the irrigation tomorrow morning. He has to do it. So the speed is very critical. The ticket size, timeline, and the repayment from the farmer, where you have a visibility of the farmer in a secured manner. So there successfully on our platform, where the farmer on time, zero delinquency, very proudly say, and that is possible to build trust, then to demonstrate what you commit, what you deliver. Finance to sell their grain, to sell their produce on their own. No farmer have smartphone. Every farmer have a smartphone. The daily purposes, but in every house there is one smartphone, and that can be used for transactions. Started from Bihar, and we are now operating in Karnataka and Maharashtra, and we have seen that
will grow, one of India's largest and energy for low-income communities. So Wilgrow's model proves that innovation thrives beyond.
Thank you, Soumya. I think just the way you founders sitting in office, then your in and out of your product. In and out of your Shivang. Maybe you should meet him. Your projections, they do not expect some crazy growth from you. Yeah, and most likely many of these nothing but apart from something on paper.
Association, and has been instrumental in boards of backing startups in Bharat. So Srinivas said you shouldn't focus on value.
Scared with what Vikas is saying. If you're a good startup, the investor will into this ecosystem. the investment which is still going on. Swami, you mentioned something on a risk. One, what the investor is looking. Certainly there is risk, but then there is high return. In the tier 2 and tier 3, the approach of working out and investing into tier 2 and tier 3 startup which is running from a tier 2 or tier 3 city is again, it's an untapped market. Today in the urban, all right, repeatedly, there is opportunity across, there are different ideations. It's far more affordable, all right, today. Migrating to vis-a-vis the listed space, right? There are more returns to be made. There are more are there, and that is what we need to look at. If I look at it, I mentioned that number, out of 50, how we as domestic capital
Thanks, Rajat, for that. I'm going to come to Dr. Sood now.
I have already explained that associate with them, and then we have a lot of organizations. We have Madurai Agribusiness Center. We can provide them in the incubation facility. How to take it forward? That is the upscaling is the major thing. Of India schemes are there. So collaboration is the keyword, I think, which will help this.
Thank you.
Same concept as far as capital. The capital providers think it's there everywhere. Access the classical commercial equity capital directly. Form of a concessional debt. Can be funneled into providing that layer additional pools of capital to reach the and between financiers who will put together the
Like we're talking about collaboration here. How can urban India, and do you see any policy interventions?
Initiative is being done by the government, but primarily what we're looking at, one of the best ways to address this we've seen various states trying to come up and promote this. Done out of different states, right? To have, and that is where a lot of domestic money can participate. And in the fund of fund structures, we're looking at just which can further support with you, right? So that's one area where we've seen, the DPIIT does a startup. And right now, the issue is good pipeline. 56 deals were in seed stage funding, which is a growth of 1.2x.
Maybe Vikas, we can start with you and then.
Using risk models of urban India with those in Bharat. So
Up one problem in Bharat and hammer it, you can make a lot of money, you can create one sector. So I would say in all the banking sector is trying to be digitize their cash flows, how do we
our own startups which are domestic. Let's not lose.
Thank you so much to our panelists here. A big, very, very divergent views from the panel. Thank you very much. Over to you.
May I please request Soumya to felicitate Dr. Ajay K. Sood, Mr. Kishore Jha, thank you. I request Dr. A.K. Sood to please come forward and felicitate. I request Mr. Rajat, Soumya. So ladies and gentlemen, report launch for innovation in agriculture. We present to you Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, once again. Isn't just confined to major cities. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to have on stage Joint Commissioner of Industries, Government Storytelling and Innovation. Please give a big hand for. Let's welcome our panel, everyone. Can we have more energy in the room? Can you please give them a big hand?
Get an understanding. How many of you are doing a startup? How many of you are not doing a startup? And how many of you plan to start up? Okay, so then we are in good company. respective states. Action क्या हो रहा है उस पे हम चलेंगे. So ma'am, let's begin with you. You are doing fantastic work. I am in Karnataka and I know the work that you're doing. Can you tell us, for entrepreneurs, what are some of the programs that the state is running?
Very good evening to everyone. Pleasure to be here and pleasure to be talking to you, Shraddha. So Bangalore, as you all know, is the startup capital, not just for the country, but it is one of the largest technology hubs in the world. We are looking at more than 50 unicorns. So in that sense, Bangalore it has a thriving ecosystem. We are very, very passionate about our startup ecosystem. Over the years, state has been systematically investing and supporting the startup ecosystem. So the approach which has been taken has been pretty much a life cycle approach. Right from the idea stage, idea to POC, then supporting the journey, then accelerating, commercialization, giving global connections and global acceleration. State government has been supporting this all the way through. I don't want to, name all the schemes that we have rolled out. For those of you who are in this segment, in this ecosystem, would already know of the schemes that the government is running. But I thought something interesting that I must flag at this, occasion. Government has very recently, in its budget that was presented in March, announced a very, very big program for startups. We are looking at creating 10,000 new startups across Karnataka. And this would be all beyond Bangalore, not in Bangalore, but in all the emerging clusters. So we are looking at 6 clusters within the state, of which 3 are already somewhat, at a fairly mature level, and other 3 are coming up very well. And we are going to do a very, very deep dive into building the ecosystem. So now we have taken a decision to start with very young people. Right from high school, we are engaging with students. Then we have structured programs at college level where we are trying to support student projects, because we feel that these student projects actually are the bedrock, and from there the ideas will stem, which will eventually culminate into startups. We are focusing very heavily on IP creation, and I think that's where today India has to come of age, and we need to have more IPs happening which can be recognized and can be associated with India, rather Bharat, I would say. And this entire initiative that we are taking is going to really support it. While we will be giving a lot of financial incentives, we are also looking at building the ecosystem in these smaller towns, so to say, emerging clusters. We have set up certain centers of excellence. We are looking at setting up another 8 to 10 centers of excellence. There is lots happening in this space, and I think still this is the beginning of the journey. A lot more is yet to come, and as Shraddha mentioned, and in this domain, to have your own startup, to build your own idea, and all states and even the government of India, everybody is out there to support your journey. So stay confident and really give it your best shot, is what I would like to say.
Thank you, ma'am. I have one very quick question. I know you have to leave, so if it's all right, I'll ask another question. Is for people who are not in the state, I might be in Delhi, I might be in, I will not say UP and Gujarat right now, but in any other place, can I go to Karnataka and avail all these?
Yes, you can be a part. Once you register with the state Karnataka startup, country who are coming, because the kind of ecosystem support that once you start, probably the scale up and the acceleration could be much better. Presence of a large number of academic institutions and the kind of centers of excellence which have been